What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cardinal, and we back for some more of that Ali Land boxing talk, people. And today, we talking Manny Pacquiao fight news. Alright, y'all, you know me, I'm a little article junkie, article troll, so trolling through the articles for the day, man, and ran across a nice little something. This one comes from WBN. So I guess it's breaking news. World boxing news. Breaking news. And they're talking about, something AB said about the fight regarding his huge claim about basically where he's going to end up if he is able to get a victory versus Manny Pacquiao on Saturday. I said this many times that Adrien Broner is I like AB, man. He's a real likable guy, and he's a decent fighter, man. He's not the worst fighter. He's not the best fighter. I don't feel like he's on an elite level yet because he hasn't had an elite fight yet. Most of his fights have been, mid to low tier fights, or fighters who are basically on the same level as he is. He's never fighting a fighter or fought a fighter who's considered on a higher level than he is. And I feel like this would be the first time he's taken on a fighter who's considered on a higher level than he is. As far as AB's boxing skills, I think AB's a decent boxer. I don't think he's the best boxer. He's like a hybrid of everything. He's like a counter puncher. He tries to do the Floyd Mayweather defensive thing, but don't really work for him. So he's more of a defensive counter puncher. So I put it that way. He's like a hybrid. And outside the ring, he's a fan-friendly guy. Inside the ring, you really gotta like AB to like AB. He does a lot of antics and he has a lot of weird stuff with it. With some of it's entertaining, some of it's like, man, I just wish you would fight sometimes. But a lot of times it's entertaining. I mean, we can never say that you didn't get an entertaining moment out of an AB fight, whether it's Hump Gate or, Adrien Broner dropping the album, whatever it is, whatever's surrounding AB, man, you're going to get some decent entertainment out of it. So we can't say he's not entertaining. He's extremely entertaining. He's an extremely likable guy. I hate for him to be going through all this stuff in his personal life, but, that's life, man. And in a lot of ways, that's just being black. But it's neither here nor there. As far as this fight Saturday night and AB's claims, let's read a little bit of this article so we can get on with this video. Controversial welterweight Adrien Broner says a win over boxing legend Manny Pacquiao this weekend places him as the top name in the sport. Very interesting claim by AB, but I've been saying this for a couple of weeks. I mean, guys can say what they want to say about, I don't want to beat the old legend. I don't want to beat the guy that beats up on the old legend. But Manny Pacquiao's name holds serious weight in this boxing world, man. And he has a country behind him. So, his name holds serious weight, whether he's famous in America or he's liked in America or not. He's loved around the world. So a win over Pacquiao means global status and would give him a global attraction. Do I think he can beat him? I don't think he can beat him. Is there a chance he can beat him? There's a very good chance he can beat him. Will he beat him? I mean, I can't be the predictor of anything, but I don't think so. I think Pacquiao is still too strong, too fast, and too hungry for other fights to lose to Adrien Broner at this point in his career. But I do see it being a war for half of the fight. But I see Pacquiao outlasting the war and being able to raise his hand in victory. But as far as his claims, they're very true. You know, there's nothing that he's saying that's not true. If he beats Manny Pacquiao, he's going to be the biggest name in boxing. He's going to be the biggest thing in boxing. Like he said, you know, forget Floyd Mayweather. He said some different words, but if he kids watching, man, he said some different words, but he forget Floyd Mayweather, and that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? If he beats Manny Pacquiao, he gets global status. If Mikey Garcia beats Earl Spence, he becomes a household name. And that fight becomes real then. You know, who will be you know, the recipient of all these great fights that are potentially going to happen in 2019 off basically these two fights, the Mikey Garcia Earl Spence fight and the Manny Pacquiao Adrien Broner fight. And there can only be two, you know, it can only be two of those four who are going to win. You know, there's a lot of names to throw around after these two fights happen, especially after this Manny Pacquiao fights happen. Like I mentioned in my last video, Manny Pacquiao got at least seven guys he could potentially fight. And I threw in a wild card with Sewell Alvarez because I think that's an interesting matchup. To me, you know, I really do think that's an interesting matchup. Now, I know people are going to say, you know, you got to beat Adrien Broner first. This is true, but, you know, I'm just talking fantasy fights, man. And the reemergence of boxing, these fights could potentially put boxing back above MMA. You know what I'm saying? MMA's been beating boxing down for the past 8-9 years. So, you know, and the reason it's Floyd, I hate to say this, but it's Floyd Mayweather's fault. He ruined boxing. He ruined the sport of boxing. Instead of giving fans what they want to see, fans what the fans want, he just did it for the money. And all the boxing fans who said they were hardcore boxing fans, who were really, you know, boxing, you know, guys who just like boxing, they all went over to MMA. And now MMA's been winning and beating boxing over the head for the past at least 8 years. So, and the reason being is because MMA gives those people what they want. They want knockouts. They want to see action. They want fan-friendly fights. And boxing don't give you that all the time. Boxing usually gives you something boring and some people are getting sick of watching. And it's because guys are doing it just for a paycheck instead of trying to please the fans. And I completely blame it on Mayweather. You know, I can't completely blame it all on Mayweather because Mayweather has backers, and if these people are willing to pay him to put on these charades, then it's really the backers' fault more than it's Mayweather's fault. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, Mayweather can make it stop when he wants it to stop. You know, he could have made all this stop a long time ago, and he could stop making the claim that he's the best in the sport when he doesn't even fight boxers. You know, he should never make that claim anymore. He should never, after these last two fights, he shouldn't make that claim anymore. He's the best at putting on a show, put it that way. You're the best at marketing yourself as a boxer. You're better at that than you are actually boxing. But let's just be grateful that, you know, as Pacquiao fans, we could potentially get all this stuff, man. We could potentially get all these fantasy fights, and we get all this stuff to talk about as fans. You know, a couple of years ago, people thought Pacquiao's career was over with, and only the true fans rode out the storm, and now you could be the possible recipient of the greatest fights in boxing history, you know, in your time. So just be thankful, man. If you need any boxing gear, hit that description box. You know, always leave me a comment, man. You know, just let me know what's up with you. Let me know who you are, man. You know, I try to interact with everybody. If you want to be involved, hit that community section up. If you know any homeless people, man, I always say this, man, it's cold outside. If you got 1 minute and some leftovers, man, 1 minute could change somebody else's life, man. You never know where that person might go just off your 1 minute. So let's help people. Hit that like button if I'm at. And if you ain't got nothing else to talk about, let's talk about boxing, man. Tell them about Cardinal Red. Ali Land Boxing Talk. We at it.